Are there times in your life where you feel like you've been on an autopilot? Hi, I'm Paula for Rock Your Life TV. And you know, it happens very frequently that we get out of sync in one area of our life where it may seem that your career is going great, but maybe your health or your relationships aren't doing as great. And that's the time to really get some support so that you can become in a better harmony with yourself. If you'd like that support, go ahead and reach out to me at pauladandrea.com/breakthrough, and I'd be happy to give you a session that will give you that mini breakthrough or aha that really will, you know, discover the area that will help you be the fit that fits you, to bring yourself into harmony on a heart-based level, on that physical level, on your energetic level, your emotional level, and just kind of like, you know, let you sink into your heart, let yourself expand into who you really are, and get ready for a consciousness explosion. And to help me in this segment to get you into that consciousness explosion is my colleague and friend, Dorothy West. She is a great coach and societal influencer, and she's here to share some of the concepts that she's been working on towards her book to help you get out of that robotic mode and really bring you into the space where you're creating consciously. So I want to give a big warm welcome to my friend Dorothy West. I'm very happy to have her here. And join us here on Rock Your Life TV to give you the tips and techniques that are going to help you get into that space, get off your robotic mode, get out of all those trance-like spaces, and really expand into your consciousness. Hi, Dorothy. How are you today?
I'm great, Paula. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure. And it's, you know, we did a little lineup just prior to coming on here, and it's really is wonderful to have to be in alignment with somebody who shares values and who has a belief system that is complementary to my own, and that is part of the message of people to rock their life, so that they're really more in alignment with the situations, with the people that really line up to their core values, and just bring them into a flow into their life. And I think that's really one of the things that you're going towards with the book that you're in the process of writing. Is that true?
It is. You know, we are such amazing beings, like what we're capable of. And when we become conscious of what we're capable of, it's actually mind-blowing that we can run like robots. You can actually live a whole life like a robot and think that your robotic life is unique. You can follow right along doing exactly what everybody else is doing, just what you were told life was supposed to look like when you were a child. You can go ahead and do that. We're actually so sophisticated that we can go on autopilot and live a whole life on autopilot. It's amazing what we're capable of.
Absolutely. And what are some of the when you come into a new client through the Happiness Company, could you tell us maybe what are some of the places that people are in that they all of a sudden they're going, oh my gosh, like, yeah, I do have that autopilot. I am kind of like really in that robotic mode where I'm so inundated by the influences that I've had on my life. I like to call them BUIs, or behaving under the influence of, where you've really had that heavy influence of past education, of culture, of family, all the ideas that were exposed to you that maybe weren't really in true alignment with you, but you adapted to. And I think that's part of the robot mode. Please share some of the things that people are coming to you with to get out of them and to break free a little bit from there.
One of my favorite opening statements from a client is, "I'm driving myself crazy." I love that. It's such a great opener. Who's the you being driven crazy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Driving you crazy. As soon as we become aware that there are thoughts and we are not our thoughts, or that little opening happens, that opening is a window into and a little space between who we really are and who we're living as, or what I call the creator that we are, and the equipment that we're using to have a physical experience, which is the brain and the body. So as soon as I notice myself, that space is open. And that's my opening to be able to work with people, which is, it's just so thrilling to me. It's just such an honor for me to be able to work with somebody and explore the space and open that window a little bit higher and a little bit higher and open up more and more space between the creator that we are and the equipment we're using to have a physical experience.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and in my experience with clients and just in speaking with people in general too, what I find is that it usually comes from one of two places. One is that where someone has a really great experience, like, I mean, you know, just the biggest exhilaration that they had in their life, and they're like, wow, I didn't know life could be like this, and I want more. And then the other thing is that where people are traveling in those darker spaces where they've had some type of event in their life that just has them cycling over and over again through physical pain or emotional pain, and just kind of keeps them in that space. And they're just like that point where you said your client was, is that, you know, I'm sick of this. It's driving me crazy. I can't stand it anymore. And I think that is also a way for people to start to open that portal more, to start seeing more of that light consciousness come in for them.
You know, culturally, we expect very little. So culturally, we're expected to do all week, and then maybe you have a little bit of time to actually enjoy being yourself. It's such a thrill to share with people that we actually have an opportunity to have that thrill of being ourselves all the time. That rote, mundane, day after day, to support a lifestyle that you were told somewhere along the way is how we're supposed to do things. It's actually an option. You actually don't have to do that. That being here is an opportunity for exhilaration, to create life. And all of a sudden, the trees look greener and the flowers look brighter and the sky looks bluer, because it's not all this package that had really nothing to do with you. You just were handed, it was handed on down to you. Now you go through the motions just like everybody else. Once you stop and see, wow, I can actually consciously create a life moment by moment that's true to me, all that stuff is a choice. And then you get to see what your brain is actually capable of. We're just at the tip of the understanding of what this brain's capable of. But all this time that it's been running us robotically, we're using a little teeny tiny bit of it. It's like using your super duper computer just to check Facebook. It's capable of so much. And your body, gosh, how many people have been treating their body like just a way to get their head from point A to point B, and treating it like the enemy, dragging it along. And here it's this phenomenal technology that wants to be on board. It wants to create with us, to have the physical experience that we came here to have. All this stuff, just we've not even explored it while we're in robot mode. So when people
absolutely, I agree with you 100%. Mm-hmm.
People come to see me and we start looking at what's actually possible. Oh, there's just nothing more exciting. It's the most wonderful thing.
Absolutely, and you know what I see is that a lot of people, they have that tunnel vision, and because they are in this robotic mode, there's other words for it too, maybe being in a trance or something, but that keeps them in that space where You know, there's many dimensions for somebody to experience. You know, their spiritual dimension, their health, their intellect, what they really believe in, like what really aligns with them, how they extend themselves to themselves first, and then into their community, that social aspect, the way to tap into their energy and to be, you know, who is uniquely themselves. That's what I call the F.I.T system. That's really being able to have that focus of a holistic scope and of an energetic scope for yourself to be able to integrate those parts and really be able to experience more. In you, where you're looking at somebody coming from those spaces of the robotic mode into the conscious creator mode, what are some of the elements that will take somebody along that path?
You know, the idea that your brain is actually creating is actually not accurate. Your brain is a storage. It's for storage and for playing games, putting pieces together differently. And it's a phenomenal tool, but we are the creator, and we then utilize what the brain can do for us. So the first component is to see that your brain is available to serve you. It's a genius piece of equipment. It's amazing technology, but you don't have to let it run you. So all that stored information in your brain, there's a lot in there that's probably not terribly useful. And when you become aware of what's useful and what's not, and then learn to overwrite the programs running you that no longer serve you, that's some exciting stuff. That would be the main component, is to take charge of your equipment rather than being trapped inside of it. So when somebody says, my thoughts, well, are you talking about old programming that's in that file cabinet of a brain? Or are you talking about new ideas that you're connecting with the quantum field to get? So if you've had a thought more than once, it's not new information. It's stored, and you're repeating that stored information, which is fabulous. I used the example of my coffee and my coffee pot in the morning. I want my coffee in the morning. I want my coffee pot right where I left it. I'm going to make it the same way, just the way I like it, but I'm choosing to do that. So I'm going to use information in my brain to do that, again, just the way I like it, until maybe I can't imagine, but maybe someday I won't want it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You go to create your day, and you're using thoughts you've thought before, you're essentially going to create a repeat, a rerun of another day. And the information that's available to us to create something new isn't coming from the brain. It's coming from the quantum field, where consciousness, where all information, all new information is available. When you can set your brain kind of to the side and connect to the quantum field, where consciousness seeking new information, and now you can give your brain something new to do, your brain will be jumping for joy with the excitement of some new information. Your brain wants a new day, just like your creator self does. That's a pretty big step right there.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So what is the best way to be able to tap into that on a very, first attempt type of a thing for someone who is totally new to this, that hasn't done that before, to really get out of the brain mode and be able to tap into that quantum mode? What do you do with somebody? What's the technique? Can you give us a process right now that will take somebody there, that they can experience right now?
Sure. There's a ton of ways. You can read, every speaker's got another way. My way is to allow my brain and body to relax, so that the creator that I am can tap new information. So now when I start to do that, I want to physically relax. so that my body can leave me alone to do that. My brain too, my first couple tries, your brain can be like a toddler just poking at you, trying to call your attention back. When you notice that that's your brain, not you, and you can lovingly pet it and tell it, I'll be back, I'll be right here, you don't have to worry, I'm not leaving you, and soothe it into a relaxation that lets you go, lets you be with. If you can imagine beyond the sky, beyond the night sky, to a vastness that's dissociated from the human state. It's so vast, and it's filled with possibilities. Some of them are perfect for me. When I connect to that vastness with no agenda, just the excitement of what's possible, new information makes itself available to me. So I'm not working at it. I don't have to go get it. I just have to sit and interact with that vastness. It's really playful, really easy. And then a new idea will pop. It could be something so simple. It could be dance, or it could be a new business idea. It could be a collaborative idea. It could be reach out to Paula. It could be a tiny little thing that's just the doorway to a whole new pathway in my life, or it could be a new vegetable combination for dinner. But if I don't have an agenda and I'm just connecting to that vastness without any pressure from my brain or my body, I have there's a depth to that experience that is richer than a human thought. It's deeper than let me sit here and figure out the next thing to do. It's a surprise when it arrives.
Yeah, you know what kind of comes to me when you say that too, Dorothy, is that there were a couple of things. One is that when you're talking about those vast spaces, I had both the imaging of that, of being, out at night and just, experiencing really dark sky with stars. Another that came to me was, standing, on the beach and looking out at the ocean and seeing the vastness of that. So that kind of like maybe will help people really grasp a little bit more of that. And the last one that just came through was like when you're playing a video game, if anybody's ever done those, been to the arcades, and they're like on those where you're driving the car and, it's got you just on that track, and so you're steering and, things keep on popping up. And I think it is that of just kind of not knowing what's going to come up, how you're supposed to twist and turn, but just being in that zone and just driving and going as where you can. You're going to crash into a couple of things, go off the road a couple of times, maybe, like that type of thing. But it really does have that that exhilaration and then that acceleration that you can experience this spot that you're talking about. How does it end for you?
Oh, I love that metaphor. As stuff's coming at you and you don't really know what it's going to be or what's going to come next. Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah, those are, so I think that's a easy way for people to understand how to do that. One of the other things that you spoke about, and you have a couple of similarities with my philosophy and also some of the things that I get into with clients. When you're speaking about it, it's almost as if what you're saying is that the body has a brain, and there's a lot of wisdom built into it, and then there's your brain. That is a storage facility. Can we talk about that for a second, just about, get your take on it? For me, I firmly believe there's so much in us at a cellular level, so all of that storage that's going on up here is really at a cellular level within the body. and there's a wealth of knowledge there. In some of the work that I do, it's helping people reconnect back to the heart. They have a lot of aches and pains where they're experiencing, long-term cycles of chronic pain, of flare-ups, of having being prone to accidents, of having different types of physical ailments. That is kind of like their reminder to have a consciousness. Rather than be able to fully experience the consciousness at a full level. So when you're able to do, as you had talked about just relaxing into the body, to be able to listen to the body and expand into it, and allow some of that wisdom to arise. I'd love to hear your continuation on that thought.
I'm having such a great time in my body lately. I have a whole new experience with it. It never occurred to me to have a little conversation with this body in the morning, share what my plan was for the day, and ask it what does it need to be on board with that plan. It never occurred to me to partner with it for the optimum physical experience. Now that I do it, it seems kind of logical, but it never occurred to me until recently. Well, now I have this loving relationship with this body where I tell it in advance what my plans are for it, so it's not the last to know. And it tells me some wonderful, it tells me, well, thanks for the notice. I won't expend everything at the gym in the morning since you're planning to spend another 4 hours in the yard trimming and pulling and replanting. I'll save some juice for later in the day. And hey, you might want to throw in an extra serving of protein. Don't forget the water. My body will partner with me so that we can have everything I want. I never knew to develop a relationship with it that would be collaborative, where it would inform me, I could make requests of it. It is the most delightful thing. I would no more think anymore of driving my body to a point of pain or exhaustion. And I did that all the time. Never gave it a second thought. And then I would complain about it, which that's even sillier. I would drive it to exhaustion.
That becomes a life for people.
Yeah.
Too. I mean, it's a very real space for a lot of people to be in, where that is what their life becomes, is all of the pain. And it's about exactly that, about being able to get in touch, to be able to fuel your body with what it needs on there's so many components that go into it. It's what you are actually physically taking in nutritionally, so it's being on a good nutritional path. It's being on the ways that you move throughout your day. Your body wants to move. That's what it was made for. So it's like, okay, what are the things that I can do that really complement that? And it doesn't have to be anything crazy. A great place for people who aren't used to it is just to start walking. Then there's a factor of how much rest am I giving myself? How much water am I drinking? All of those things come in to say, okay, what is my performance level going to be on any given day? And you're exactly right on that stride. Complements your my F.I.T system, where it really is about focusing on being healthy. And when you are treating your body well, you're able to be on that healthy. There's things like having these crazy programs where you're shorting yourself on energy, you're shorting yourself on what you're eating and everything like that. You really don't even do that anymore. You're just really in a natural mode where everything happens organically, and guess what? Boom, like that. You drop that extra 10 pounds or whatever it is that you're doing. You're on a consistent basis. You're going and doing any form of exercise, whether it is going to the gym, taking a class, or doing your own thing in or around your home. So all of those things are just kind of like, come online for you, and it really is a great place to to tap into and get out of that pain mentality where I have to, like, really overload my body and clog it up. And once you give it that expansion, it's like, wow, amazing things begin to happen. You actually start to, get rid of all of that toxic environment that you created in your body for all of these emotions, pent-up emotions, and pain and stories and blocks and everything else that's going on, and just give it a chance to breathe and do its thing.
I have plenty of clients who do want a different physical experience.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing I tell them is get fascinated by your body. It's fascinating. It's so sophisticated. And from reading all the magazine articles that kind of give the idea that we're all the same, that every body is exactly the same, and you ingest the same things and you'll get the same results, and all that's all nonsense. Get fascinated with your body as well as your brain. Each one is unique. Your body, if you're in right relationship with your body, it will tell you exactly what to do next. I had an interesting experience as I've been developing this relatively new relationship with my body. I'm loving getting stronger. And when I say get stronger, I'm lifting weights and doing chin-ups and push-ups and things I never thought would ever happen. And I noticed my brain intervening. So there was a new exercise for me to do, and I was to jump up, pull myself up on a bar, jump up and hold myself there. And my brain jumped right in. Don't do that. We can't do that. We can get hurt. Don't do that. Don't do that. My body was chomping at the bit to do it. My body couldn't wait to try. So I got to tell my brain, this is none of your business. Chill. This is between me and this body. You'll have plenty of time to have a say later. But right now, this is not for you to do. And having that nanosecond to see that my creator, me, and my brain and my body are actually a team creating together, and that I have to be team leader. I have to be in charge. And I jumped up onto that bar, and my body was celebrating. Celebrating the strength, the new experience, the movement. And my brain was blown away. Couldn't believe that was possible. It was a great moment in time for me.
That's awesome. I love it. Thanks for that too, because there isn't anything like that surge that does go through your body, and to be able to experience that. I mean, it's so empowering, and it's you're exactly right, where you're able to get past that physical limitation of you can't. That's why I love exercise, because it allows people to really break those boundaries and go past what they thought that they could do. Really great way to make that happen. And I love your tie-in that you just brought us into as well, Dorothy. I'm really looking forward to your book. Could you share with people how they can stay in contact with you, so that when the time is ready and you're ready to get out and launch that book, that they'll be able to know about it?
Yeah, sure. The quickest, easiest way is to like the Happiness Company on Facebook, because there's information there all the time. Also, I have a website. It's www.thehappinesscompany.us, and you can always email me at dorothy@thehappinesscompany.us.
Awesome. Thank you so much for...
The book is just a tremendously fun unfolding experience for me. I'm having a blast with it.
Yeah, it is, and I love the just the enthusiasm that you bring to everything, and just your natural vibe of happiness. Your company, so aptly named, the happinesscompany.us totally fits you. So I like that, the Happiness Company, us. embodying everybody. So thank you so much for being with us today on Rock Your Life TV. Really appreciate your information and a new view on how people can get out of that robotic mode and really tap into the conscious creator that they're meant to be. I'm Paula D'Andrea for Rock Your Life TV, and I would encourage you to head over to pauladandrea.com/RYLTV so that you can get a free gift and also get on our guest list, meet more people like Dorothy West, who are totally rocking their lives and making a difference and rocking that higher vibe. Until the next time, thanks so much for watching.